What is up, guys, and welcome back to part 40 of my F1 2016 career mode here at the Mexican Grand Prix. If you missed season 1 and of course the first 18 rounds of this second season, then you can go click the little card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens to go catch up with everything that's happened over this career mode so far. Just before we get into today's video, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to guys for 1,000 subscribers. To go up from like 200 before F1 2016 came out to now be on 1,100 subscribers is absolutely amazing. I couldn't have done it without you guys. So your support has been absolutely incredible and I thank you so much. And to sort of celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers, you guys have decided that I should do a Q&A for 1,000 subscribers special. So I will be doing that within the next couple of weeks. So don't forget to leave your questions down below in the comment section and I will answer those in that video. But we are here at the Mexican Grand Prix and we have the opportunity to wrap up the Drivers' World Championship right here. I mean, we've had that opportunity for the last two races in Japan and in America, and we've messed them up massively. But this time, it seems even more likely. Kimi Räikkönen has to win the race, and we have to finish in 7th or below. If Kimi Räikkönen wins the race, then we are going to get within the top 5 or something like that. That is definitely going to happen. We are going to win the championship here today. But Chris has a little bit of information on teams around us, so let's see what he has to say.
Hey, our upgrade pace is looking solid right now, but I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive. Here's the report.
So it looks like some of the other teams have actually upgraded their car, and Toro Rosso have done so much work on their car recently that they are now the best team in Formula 1. It's come a little bit too late for those guys. I mean, they won't be competing for any sort of championships at all, but that sets them up really nicely for next season. Look at them upgrading their drag, downforce, chassis weight, and Sahara Force India have reduced the drag on their car as well, and the chassis weight on their car as well. So Sahara Force India are doing a good job. They are just behind Red Bull Racing, but Toro Rosso are now the best team in Formula 1. So we do need to be aware of those guys. They'll probably start to win a couple of races in the not too far distant future. I mean, Danica Kvyat's won a couple of races this season already, and Sahara Force India hopefully will start to get within that mix as well. But let's see how this affects all the teams in the standings as we have a look at practice.
Hello and welcome from Mexico City, where the teams are getting ready for today's practice session here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
Here we are then in the practice session, just going through the track acclimatization at the moment, coming round down towards the start finish line. Now it is enough for a purple score, which is absolutely fantastic. It means that we have more resource points to put in the bank and save ready for next season. And then we went out on track once again. We did the tyre wear management test. This one didn't go as well as the track acclimatization, but it was still good enough for a green score. 60 points out of 105. Unfortunately, we just decided to go for a really quick lap on that final one because we just weren't going to get the purple score needed because we could only maximize, get 15 points on that lap, so it wouldn't have been enough to get the purple score. But still a good amount of resource points in that practice session. Unfortunately, we could not do the qualifying pace once again. We do really struggle with that with that practice objective, but nevertheless we've got quite a few amount of resource points in this session. Down in 22nd place though. We're not exactly too quick around this circuit in terms of one lap pace. We do need to improve that in qualifying. Hopefully we can find the time that is necessary. So without any further ado, let's head over to qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix.
Welcome to qualifying here in Mexico, where the cars will be going out on track very shortly and battling it out to secure pole for tomorrow's Grand Prix.
It's qualifying time here at the Mexican Grand Prix, and getting out of Q1 into Q2 should be quite easy. However, I do not know how competitive I'm going to be in this qualifying session. One lap pace is kind of where we lack in terms of my ability against the AI. I do a lot better in the race because of the slipstream that we can use, but in terms of qualifying, we just aren't exactly that competitive, especially around the circuits towards the end of the season, which we are currently going through now. We're going to head out on track, try and get through Q1 and into Q2, which we should be able to do, and then see if we can get our Q2 into Q3. Right then, through the last couple of corners on this first lap here in Q1, down towards the line at the moment. What is the time going to be good enough? It's a 1:19.286. It's good enough for 8th position, but currently below Pascal Wehrlein. So that is a little bit worrying, and we will need to improve on that lap times. We're currently down in 11th place, cutting a little bit of the final corner, running it a little bit too wide as well. Down towards the line, unfortunately, it's not going to be an improvement. It's 1/10 slower than our previous best time and still down in 11th place. Hopefully that is enough to stay within Q2, but I'm not too sure at the moment whether it be good enough. Here we are on lap 3, and unfortunately it's still only good enough for P11. Round the final corner, down towards the line for a third lap here in qualifying. Across the line, and it's still 5 thousandths of a second slower than our best lap time. And I don't think we're going to be able to go for one more lap. We've used all of the sets of tyres that we have had available to us. We've also run out of fuel on this lap. And it's not good enough to get out of Q1. Once again, right at the back of the field in 20th position with only the 2 Brazilians of Felipe Massa and Felipe Nasser behind us. But that is a really disappointing result. Max Verstappen also out of Q1, as well as Jenson Button. So those guys not having a good result either. Pascal Wehrlein is the other guy who did not make it into Q2. But we're definitely going to need to improve on that position. Hopefully, we can make loads of overtakes like we've done in America and Japan. But this time around, we are not going to fluff it. We're not going to take any risky moves in order to get up the ranks. I mean, Kimi Räikkönen has to win the race for him to win the championship still, or have a chance to still win the championship. So we're just going to take it easy, try and get back up into the points. But if Kimi Räikkönen is not winning the race, then we're fine. If he is winning the race, then it will just have to go down to Brazil. But it's just going to be even highly unlikely for him every race that we go on. So that's what we're going to do in the race, though, and hopefully it will be enough to win us the Drivers' World Championship.
The air may be thin here in Mexico City. The atmosphere is anything but. The crowd have been chanting and singing, not just this afternoon, but throughout the entire weekend. There's a great love for Formula One here, and no small amount of expectation. Let's hope today's Grand Prix can meet it. At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners make up a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, and you can expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking too into the hard braking zones of turns 1 and turn 4. I won't be commentating alone today, of course. Nope, I have the honour to share this commentary box with none other than Anthony Davidson. And you and I were talking earlier today about how tight that midfield battle is compared to the last couple of years. Why do you think that is?
Well, I suppose the main reason is simply stability in the regulations. Look at what we had towards the end of the V8 era. In 2012, we had 7 winners in 7 races. And we talk about the dominance of Red Bull at that time, but their advantage was rarely more than 2 or 3 tenths of a second. And we've had this current formula now for a couple of years, and that serves to solve any teething troubles with reliability. Let's not forget that these cars are more technical than ever before, so it was always going to take a bit of time for those gaps to come down.
We're in good position for the Constructors' title. There are 3 races left, so we need some good results.
It's race day here at the Mexican Grand Prix, starting down in a very, very disappointing 20th position on the grid. But that means that the race is going to be even more exciting as we try and make our way back up through the field. Looking at the race strategy for today's race, we're going to be starting on the softs, then go for another set of softs, and then go for a set of super softs at the end of the race. But I think I want to go for super softs at the start, just to make us so much quicker at the beginning of the race and try and make up as many positions as we possibly can when the whole field is bunched up. So I think that's what we're going to do. Go for a set of super softs at the start, go for a set of softs in the middle, and then either go for a set of softs or mediums towards the end, depending on how good the tyre wear is around this track. But I think that is an okay strategy for now. Stay on the soft tyres, and if they can't last, we can always switch to the mediums if they're not going to last. But here we are getting ready for the formation lap, starting down in 20th position on the field. We need to make our way back up through the ranks, try and get past a lot of guys, get back up into that championship winning position of, I think, about 6th position, and hopefully we can do exactly that here today. But here we are getting away for the formation start. Max Verstappen going very, very slowly there, so we actually go past him. And then as we try to let him through, he just doesn't want to get past us. Then we're just going to sort of warm up our tyres, warm up our brakes for the start of today's race. But here we are on the starting grid, the lights coming on. It's 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Mexican Grand Prix. It's a good start compared to the other drivers. Looks like Marcus Ericsson has got off to an awful start, and that's held up Jenson Button right behind him. So we got the job done on Jenson Button. Now following right behind the Sauber driver, moving over to the left-hand side, maybe squeeze it in between Pascal Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson. Under braking up the inside into turn 1, actually going into the back of our championship rival, Kimi Räikkönen, having to hold it on the grass just to let all these guys back through, because that was actually kind of an illegal overtake going up the inside on the grass. We've got Roman Grosjean around our outside at the moment, but he wields position to us. And up next for us is Rio Haryanto, who will be looking to try and get past into the next segment of corners. Up the inside into the left hand, and maybe have a look on Gutierrez as well. Unfortunately, we just can't get through there. But side by side at the moment with our championship rival, Kimi Räikkönen. Unfortunately, Gutierrez was just a little bit too slow out of that corner, and that has allowed Kimi Räikkönen to have a little look up the inside. A little bit of contact with the Manor, who actually gets sent into a spin behind us. A little bit disappointing that there was actually a collision between the two of us, but nevertheless, we are right behind Kimi Räikkönen once again on the start of lap 2. So close behind this cluster of cars. We're going so slow on the exit of turn 3, but looks like we've got a good exit compared to some of them. Moving over to the left hand side, there's a little bit of room there on the grass, and getting past all these 3 drivers, all 4 drivers possibly up the inside of Esteban Gutierrez as well, side by side with the Haas driver. We give him room on the inside of turn 5, in towards turn 6 and 7, still side by side with Esteban Gutierrez, but he gets the job done, back past us and up into P9. But for now, we're in the points, but that doesn't matter because Kimi Räikkönen is currently behind us in 12th position, but now he's been moved up into 11th place as we're trying to catch up to Esteban Gutierrez. And using the DRS, it looks like we are possibly going to be able to go for a move down towards turn 1. It's actually a fairly easy move up the inside, side by side under braking, but there we go, overtake done on Esteban Gutierrez. And up next for us is Sebastian Vettel, Felipe Massa, no, Valtteri Bottas, sorry, and Nico Rosberg, who are all sort of having a little bit of a ding-dong battle at the moment. That has allowed me to definitely catch up to these guys. Maybe have a look up the inside of Valtteri Bottas as we come into the stadium section. What a move there up the inside, under braking, still side by side into the stadium section, holding it around the outside of their hairpin into the right hander, still side by side, but Valtteri Bottas wields the position, and we are up into P8 for the time being. Up next is Nico Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel. We'll be looking to catch up to these guys. I don't think we're going to be close enough to catch up with Slipstream down in towards turn 1, but if these two guys can definitely challenge each other, then we'll definitely have a good chance of getting past them. Race engineer wants us to change our strategy onto the medium tyres now, but I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to stay for the softs, and softs at the moment, just sort of see how these tyres go. Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg going side by side, forcing each other off the track, and that gives me a great run on both of them. Can I get Sebastian Vettel in towards turn 4? Yes, I can. Up into 6th position on lap 5 of this Mexican Grand Prix. Exactly where we need to be in this race in order to win the Drivers' Championship if Kimi Räikkönen can get his way back through the field and up into the lead of the race. I mean, there's still a long way left to go. Only on lap 7 of 36. There's still a long way left to go in this race, and I'm certainly sure that Kimi Räikkönen could have any chance to get back up into the lead of the race. But we are right coming into the pits at the moment with Kimi Räikkönen right behind us on track, also coming in for a new set of tyres. So I think he did the same strategy as me, going for the super softs at the start, and he's actually going on to a set of mediums for his second stint, whereas we are deciding to go on for a set of softs. We come out of the pits now, still ahead of Kimi Räikkönen on lap 8 at the moment. So we are doing a good job of staying ahead of the Ferrari driver. I think we can't come out ahead of Nico Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel as well, which we have done, and also Valtteri Bottas as well. So we're doing a good job in this Mexican Grand Prix, ahead of quite a few of our championship rivals, Kimi Räikkönen, Nico Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel. I mean, Kimi Räikkönen is the only one who is challenging us for the title, but all those guys are definitely able to win races. So it's a good job that we are ahead of those guys, and hopefully we can keep them behind us as the race goes on. But through the left and the right of turns 4 and 5, currently in P14 at the moment. Up next for us is Danny Kvyat, and looks like he has got further up the roads. We're right behind Marcus Ericsson and Rio Haryanto, who comes into the pits on lap 14. Start of lap 15 at the moment, following right behind Marcus Ericsson, using the slipstream, using the DRS, possibly pulling over to the right hand side and going for a move on the Sauber driver. We should be quick enough to go for a move on Marcus Ericsson, which we are. Up the inside, side by side. No, we're not. We've got the job done before we've even got to turn 1, into turn 2 and turn 3. And there we go, up into P10, hunting down Daniel Ricciardo, who is up next. And we are right back in the points, boys. Right behind us at the moment is Kimi Räikkönen, currently on lap 18, and possibly go for a move in towards the stadium section if he can make it possible. Right behind us at the moment, in towards their hairpin. We've run it wide. This allowed Kimi Räikkönen to have a little look up the inside into the hairpin, side by side at the moment through the stadium section, through the long final right-hander, still side by side with Kimi Räikkönen. He's going to get a good drive out of the corner. He's much better under traction. His tyre wear is a lot better than ours because we're obviously on the softs, whereas he is on the medium tyres, which can definitely last longer. But using the slipstream, we're so quick in a straight line. Kimi Räikkönen has got DRS though, so he can use that to defend against. And look at that now. Now we're out of the slipstream. He is definitely starting to pull away from us side by side in towards turn 1, under braking, and there we go, up the inside into P6 once again and holding off Kimi Räikkönen, because you know it could be okay if Kimi Räikkönen does get past us, but if he goes on to win the race and we finish in like 7th or below, then he still has that chance to win the championship. So we still don't want to let him through, but we don't want to do anything that will risk our own race. We run it wide in towards the exit of the SS section, going down in towards the stadium section now. Kimi Räikkönen under braking on the right hand side, and it's a fairly easy move there for the Ferrari driver. We're still going to try and fight him back though in towards the last couple of corners, in towards the exit of the same section, final corner of the track now. And I think Kimi Räikkönen is going to have just about enough to defend against down the start-finish straight. We will have DRS on the Ferrari driver though, so we might be able to pull him back in down in towards turn 1. We've got 2 Force Indias right behind us at the moment of Nico Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez, definitely looking to go for an overtake down in towards turn 1. Can we defend against those two, as well as trying to overtake Kimi Räikkönen in towards turn 1? We're holding it around the outside of both Force Indias. Looks like we've managed to defend against those guys, and now trying to get past Kimi Räikkönen for 6th place in this Mexican Grand Prix, using DRS once again, going down in towards turn 4. Have we got enough straight line speed to get the job done? No, we don't. We're just going to have to settle for P7 for the time being in this race. I think we're going to be coming into pits in the next couple of laps through the final corner once again on lap 20, and there we go, coming into the pits for our second pit stop in this race. I think we are definitely going to be going on to a set of mediums all the way to the end of the race. Here we are coming into pits for our second pit stop in this race. We need a quick one from the Renault boys because we do not want to be in any sort of traffic of the other guys. So hopefully that does not happen as we're coming out of the pits at the moment. I can't really see anybody around us out on track. I mean, you can't really see anything right now. Sauber gets past. Anybody else getting past? Rio Haryanto also gets past us. We're currently in about 90th position, I think, on lap 21 of this Mexican Grand Prix. It looks like we've got a fair bit amount of clean air in front of us. There's a couple of guys a couple of seconds down the road. There's a guy right behind us as well. But I don't think it's going to be challenging with us, and I think it should be okay to push on from here and try and catch up to the other guys who are trying the 2 or 3 stop. I mean, everybody ahead of us still has one more pit stop left to make in the race. They won't be able to make the medium tyres last till the end of the race unless they pitted on the same pit stop as we did. So everybody ahead of us does need to make a pit stop in this race. Here we are then on board with Valtteri Bottas as we come through the stadium section at the moment, in towards the hairpin, following behind a Sauber of, I think, Marcus Ericsson. No, it's Felipe Nasr. Marcus Ericsson is right behind him out on track, and we're not too far behind these guys either, so we will be looking to try and catch up with these guys and hopefully get an overtake within about 5 laps or so, if we are quick enough to get past those. But no, Valtteri Bottas is out of today's Mexican Grand Prix, pulling over to the left-hand side with an engine failure, and we should get past him very, very easy indeed. There he is over on the left-hand side. Yellow flag's out. Will that bring out a safety car? Yes, it does. Safety car is deployed in this Mexican Grand Prix, which is absolutely fantastic news for us. It means we can now push on and try and catch up to the rest of the pack, as well as those guys coming into the pits within the next couple of laps as well. So hopefully we can get a few amount of positions on those guys, but certainly catch up to the rest of the pack and hopefully go for a few overtakes. Here we are a couple of laps later. The safety car is now in. We've been only moved up into P15 at the moment. Esteban Gutierrez is currently behind us on the super soft tyres, coming through the left-hander of the hairpin. And unfortunately, we just weren't quick enough to catch up to the safety car before we started. I think it was mainly just because Jenson Button and Marcus Ericsson were just so slow out on track. Unfortunately, we just weren't quick enough to catch up. We are on the same straight as them, though, but this Mexican Grand Prix straight is so long. And there we at the moment, we have Jenson Button and Marcus Ericsson going side by side down towards turn 1. We're also under pressure from the Haas driver of Esteban Gutierrez. We're gaining on both these guys. We're going to break a little bit early in towards turn 1, just so we don't get caught up in these two guys having a battle right behind Marcus Ericsson at the moment. We need a good exit out of turn 3 to possibly capitalise on the mistake of losing a position to Jenson Button down in towards turn 4 now. Up the inside, possibly on Marcus Ericsson. Late dive bomb move up the inside. Unfortunately, we've been caught by the Sauber, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to give that position back. It was an unfair move, and I do decide to give that position back to Marcus Ericsson. Hold it on the grass there, and then getting the car underway once again, following behind the Haas driver of Esteban Gutierrez, who did actually manage to get past us because of that mistake. But here we are on lap 28 now, right behind Marcus Ericsson once again, pulling over to the right-hand side, possibly, which we do, up the inside of Marcus Ericsson. A late move. He doesn't give us the room there, so unfortunately, we can't go for the overtake as early as turn 1, but we might be able to get a good drive out of turn 3. And once again, try and get the job done in towards turn 4. I think we're so much quicker than Mogsteps, and this time trying it around the outside in towards turn 4. We got the job done before we've even got there. And up next for us is Roman Grosjean in the Haas, who is currently running in P15. Here we are on lap 29, then running behind Roman Grosjean still. There's a couple of drivers in the pits at the moment, and that bumps us up into P12 in this Mexican Grand Prix. Roman Grosjean currently in P11. I think a few other guys should be coming into pits within the next couple of laps as well, as we are still on lap 31 right now. Right behind Roman Grosjean, who is coming into the pits. We've also caught up to Sebastian Vettel as well. I believe he did have a problem after coming out of the pit lane. More guys in the pits right now. That bumps up into P7, and if we can get past Sebastian Vettel, that'll put us in the position that we need to be in to get past and win the Drivers' Championship, which we are currently in P6 at the moment. Lewis Hamilton currently running in P5. I don't think I'll be catching up to that guy because he is currently running on the super soft tyres. But Sebastian Vettel is behind us on the soft tyres. Nico Hülkenberg is now the driver directly behind us, and he's looking to go for an overtake down in towards the stadium section. Can he hold it around the outside? We're certainly going to try it. He's going to have the inside line into the hairpin. Unfortunately, I think he's got the job done for the time being. We're trying to hold behind him as close as we possibly can, but on these worn medium tyres, it's just not going to be enough to get the job done on Nico Hülkenberg. And there he is off into the distance ahead of us. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to catch up to Nico Hülkenberg. But we're going to try over the next couple of laps. We've got 3 laps left to go in this race. Max Verstappen right behind us on track, looking to try and go for an overtake, but unfortunately does not have enough in terms of straight line speed to get past us there. Now on board with Max Verstappen once again on lap 34 in this Mexican Grand Prix, doing exactly what Nico Hülkenberg did this time around, though, going up the inside into the stadium section, holding it around the outside. Then we get the inside line in towards the hairpin, try and squeeze out Max Verstappen on the exit. He gives us a little bit of a knock there. We run it wide on the exit, get the overtake on Max Verstappen, which we have to give back because we overtook him off the track. And now we are right behind the Red Bull driver. We will not get DRS on him, but we will get the slipstream on Max Verstappen down towards turn 1. Red Bull aren't exactly quick in terms of straight line speed, so this should be a fairly easy move on the right hand side, which it is. And there we go into 7th position once again. Down in towards turn 1. 7th position is exactly where the team want us to be, so we do need to make sure that we stay in 7th place for the end of the race. It looks like we've got Kimi Räikkönen having a little move up the inside in towards turn 1, but unfortunately for him, he's not able to get past us. It looks like we are going to win the Drivers' World Championship because Kimi Räikkönen, unless anything major happens, I do not think he's going to be able to get the championship lead. But around the outside in towards the stadium section at the moment. Up the inside, he looks like he's got the job done into the stadium. We're trying to stay as close as we possibly can through the stadium section, through the right hander of the final corner now, and down this very, very long straight. We will have slipstream, we will have DRS on Kimi Räikkönen, so we should be able to come back at him down in towards turn 1. It's just where we can outbrake the Ferrari driver on those very, very much better super soft tyres. But here we are down in towards turn 1. Maybe having a look on Kimi Räikkönen up the inside. It's going to have to be a dive bomb move if we want to get the job done, which we certainly do. Up the inside, he gives us the room. Side by side in towards turn 2. Kimi Räikkönen backs out of the move. And there we go. Up into P7 once again in this Mexican Grand Prix. Holding on to exactly what the team wants us to do. And right now, we are still winning the Drivers' World Championship. Anything massive happens, I think I am going to do it. But we're going to just have to wait and see how the rest of this race pans out. I mean, loads of drivers ahead of us could have penalties. We do not know how this race is going to turn out, so we're not going to crown ourselves world champion just of yet. But Sergio Perez is certainly going to be crowned the winner of his home race here in Mexico. Round the last corner now. Who would have thought it? Sergio Perez getting the race win at his home race here in Mexico. Round the final corner, and he becomes a race winner once again after that amazing victory there in Singapore. Kimi Räikkönen right behind us at the moment, going down in towards the stadium section, round the outside. The confetti is spraying for Sergio Perez after he won the race in towards the last couple of corners. It's also spraying for me to become world champion. I don't think Kimi Räikkönen has got enough to become world champion. Up the inside into the final corner. I'm still fighting for this position now. Lose the back end, a huge power slide out to the final corner. We have come 8th place here in the Mexican Grand Prix, but we are also crowned a world champion in Formula 1. What a fantastic result for us here at the Mexican Grand Prix.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. Brilliant stuff from Force India today. What a superb victory. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
I can see them on their way out to the podium now. Force India have really come a long, long way in this sport. And what a special race this was, to see them earn that top spot.
What a race there then at the Mexican Grand Prix. We may have only got 8th position after today's race, but it was enough. It was enough to win the Drivers' World Championship. Finally, after being able to maybe clinch it in Japan, in USA as well, messing up both of those races, but finally not getting this one wrong and having a fantastic result. Fantastic drive back from 20th on the grid to get that 8th position needed to be crowned the Drivers' World Champion at the track where we won my first ever Pro Formula Racing League Championship as well. So it's definitely a special track for me here in Mexico. Sergio Perez goes on to win his home race here in Mexico with Nico Rosberg finishing second. My teammate Julian Palmer, he finished in third, so a good result for him and a good amount of points for Renault in the Constructors' World Championship. Carlos Sainz, he finished in fourth with Lewis Hamilton in fifth. Nico Hülkenberg gets his sixth place, so a good day for Force India here today. Kimi Räikkönen in seventh was not enough to keep him in the title fight. You're going to be very, very disappointed with that. We finished in eighth, Max Verstappen in ninth, and Danny Kvyat rounds out the top 10, getting the final championship point. Daniel Ricciardo finished in 11th, just behind this pack, with Pascal Wehrlein just missing out on points again here at the Mexican Grand Prix. And then looking further down the field, our only DNF of the race today was Valtteri Bottas. A little bit unfortunate for him. And Felipe Massa finishing down in 21st as well. So not a good day for Williams at all. Let's have a look at how this affects us in the driver's standings. And in the driver's standings, there is confirmation that we are the world champion of the 2017 season on this 2016 career mode. Kimi Räikkönen does not have enough now to win the Drivers' World Championship. Unfortunately, he's just going to have to settle for second place, although he is going to have to try and defend his position from both Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, who are on exactly the same amount of points in third and fourth. Sebastian Vettel has dropped down into fifth, with Jolyon Palmer, my teammate, currently in sixth. So hopefully Jolyon Palmer can get a few amount of good results and hopefully try and challenge Sebastian Vettel, maybe Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton as well. Let's have a look though how this affects us in the Constructors' standings. Looking at the Constructors' Championship, and it is certainly all to play for. The gap, yes, may be 42 points between Renault and Ferrari, but Mercedes are doing such a good job at the moment that they can certainly close up that gap. They're 51 points behind us right now, but they've been closing up the points so quickly over the last couple of races that do not be surprised to see those guys batting with us for the Constructors' Championship in the final race in Abu Dhabi. But that is it for today's Mexican Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. Despite winning the Drivers' World Championship here today and also beating Kimi Räikkönen to it as well, we have not done a good job in the rivalry update. It's now 13-5 in Kimi Räikkönen's favour right now, which isn't good. And looking at the driver position within the team, we may have just won the Drivers' World Championship, but the team do not care about that because we're currently on a 0 because of bad qualifying and not getting the team's objective as well. So we need to make sure that we definitely step up our game. Otherwise, we could actually be fired by the final race of the season. We definitely do not want that because we do want a chance to maybe move teams instead of getting one of the bottom three. But that's it for today's Mexican Grand Prix, and we can finally call ourselves a Drivers' World Champion after a fantastic season with Renault. And possibly we may even have a fantastic season in Season 3 with Renault as well, or we could be moving away from those guys if we can get a good contract offer. But once again, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to you guys for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. The love and support that you guys have been shown over the last month has been absolutely amazing. And hopefully we can carry it on to the end of the year. But if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button. Also subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. We've got 2 races left to go in this second season of my F1 2016 career mode. And they are going to be back-to-back tomorrow. Yes, that is right. Brazil and Abu Dhabi is coming to you tomorrow back-to-back. So definitely look forward to that. And of course, if you are subscribed to my channel, then you never have to miss an episode from me. But I'll see you next time at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Until then, though, it's goodbye from me.